What are you doing up here? Hey!
You're editing that out.
Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Jalka if you're new here, and today we're going to do a full face of Juvias Palette. I have some old and some new things from them. I might be the last person trying out the new stuff, but you know, my life is so hectic and busy with the 1-year-old. Also, disclaimer, I have a fan blowing because it's hot where I am filming, and so you're gonna hear that in the background, and my daughter is right here. So if you hear a couple noises, that's what that is. So I'm going to start off with my eyes. I already have my brows done, primer on. I used the P. Louise base in rumor number 2. So the first thing that I'm going to do is jump into the Saharan blush Vol.II palette. It is a blush palette, but I'm going to use a shade as an eyeshadow. One pan kind of like crumbled and fell out for me. I'm going to use this color, Taiyu, I believe that's pronounced. And I'm going to put that in my crease. So I'm taking a Morphe 506 brush, and I'm going to dip into that color. Juvias Place eyeshadows are just really pigmented. I love the formula of them. I love the theme. I love everything about Juvias Place. I've always been a big fan since they were small, before they were in Ulta. I'm going to take another clean Morphe 506 brush, and I'm jumping in their Masquerade mini palette. I want to take this color right here. It's called Zobo, and I'm going to put it right next to the color that I just applied. I'm loving this color combination. I feel like it's just a nice, cute, like sorbet vibe type of thing. It's really cute. I really like it. I'm going to jump into the Magic by Juvias. I'm going to take a Morphe R39 brush, and I'm going to dip into this dark violet purple called Beefy. And I'm just going to put this on my outer corner. Then I'm just going to go back and forth in between those colors, make sure they're really pigmented and blend it out. Right now I basically just laid out the color, so I'm just going to apply more pigment and blend out. So I cut my crease using the P. Louise Rumor 2 base, and now I'm going to set it with some shadow. I'm going to go back into the Magic palette by Juvias. I'm going to take this dark navy blue called Yehedi on the Morphe R39 brush that we use for the purple. Just going to tap the color onto the outer part of my eye. I'm going to jump back in the Saharan Blush Palette Vol.II, and I want to take this lighter color. It seems a little darker on camera, but it's called Zoba on a Japanese 230 brush, and I'm going to put that on the inner portion of my lid. I'm going to go back into the Magic Palette. Kind of feeling this blue fantasy. This is called Yamoha. I believe that's how you pronounce it. Yamoha, and I'm taking this Royal and Land Nickel brush. It's the Revolution BX-80 brush, and I'm going to put that on the rest of my lid. Look at all that pigment that picked up. I'm telling you, these eyeshadows are so pigmented. Like, Juvias Place is not playing. Look at that beautiful color. I feel like putting this all over the lid, actually. Like, that is gorgeous. That is gorgeous. Gorgeous. I really think, should I think I'm just gonna overlap the other color because I really like this blue color, and I'm gonna put this all over my lid. And I didn't even need to spray my brush or anything. Like, this went on perfectly. Alright, in the Magic Palette, I'm going to go back in and I'm going to take this color right here. It's kind of like a violet metallic color, metallic shimmer color. This is the color Fossil. Just going to place this color kind of where the icy blue color meets the darker color. I'm going to take a smaller, flatter brush. I guess it's a concealer brush. This is the Alamar Cosmetic brush. Doesn't have a number or a name to it. And I'm going to grab that icy blue color, Yamoha. I'm just going to make sure it is really pigmented where the cut crease is. Alright guys, I put some lashes on for you guys, or for me. And I believe these are the Sophia, I believe these are foamy lashes from AliExpress. I get all my lashes at AliExpress, and they all come like this, or most of my lashes from AliExpress. If you're not hip, please get hip. They're really cheap. They come from overseas, but they take a couple weeks to get, but I mean, they will hook you up. I had them lying around, so they weren't in this specific package, so I'm not sure if these are the ones, but I believe they are, because sometimes they're, you know, you get them from the source, you get them from China, and they're kind of funky, you know? They're like, I always have trouble figuring out which side is which because they're so full and so long. Like, yeah, it's confusing. So let's start with the new products from Juvias Place. I have two of their foundations because I didn't know which colors to get. They have a big variety of colors, and I believe this foundation was 20 bucks. I got it from Ulta. I have the colors Fest 620 and Cebu 610. I love the packaging. I'm probably the last person to try this, but I'm really excited to try this. I've heard a lot of good reviews. So the claims are it's supposed to be radiant, long-lasting, creamy, and comfortable. It says our second skin creamy foundation offers a smooth application with a soft, natural, and soft matte finish to erase blemishes, refine skin texture, even out complexion, and maintain its initial finish throughout the day. It says it's free from paraben, oil, and something else I can't pronounce. It's supposed to be suitable for all skin types, including sensitive and oily skin. So this is the packaging. It's really cute. I love the orange coral packaging. It says it's made in Italy, and you get 1.0 fluid ounce, which is pretty standard. It says full coverage in the back, and it has all the ingredients. also the name of the shade. So it comes sealed, which is nice. So this is the shade Cebu, and this is the shade Fess. So I feel like Cebu is more neutral and Fess it has a little bit more of a yellow undertone. I really can go for both. I think I'm gonna go for Cebu since it's more neutral and I don't know if it oxidizes. So I'm just gonna play it safe. So I'm gonna take my Japanese sponge, a dot of Cebu on my sponge. It seems like a really thick foundation. So I think this is all I'm going to use. See how much it covers. Whoa. Maybe I used too much. Whoa. This coverage. Oh, honey. Girl, this is what you call foot coverage. Oh, it's no kidding right now. Whatever, this is the process. Okay, I'm done blending out the foundation, and what I can say is that a little bit goes a long way. I think even that dot that I used was a little bit too much, but this is what you call full coverage. It covered all of my blemishes, all of my marks. I mean, I can still see my texture, but what's new? I feel like it's a thick foundation, but it doesn't feel heavy on my face compared to the Morphe Fluidity foundation, which is also full coverage. I feel like this is a little bit more full coverage than that, and it's not as matte as the Morphe Fluidity foundation, which I'm not mad at. I really like this finish. It's more of a satin finish than a matte drying finish. So the next thing that I got that's new is the Juvias Place I Am Magic Concealer, and I have it in the shade 20. I only have one. It's supposed to be creamy, radiant concealer, smoothens and cancels out dark circles, blemishes, and skin imperfections. This is made in the USA. It's not made in Italy like the foundation is. And this is what it looks like. This is really, really huge. Like compared to my Makeup Revolution Conceal and Define Concealer, this is probably double the size. You get 0.34 fluid ounces. Let me see how much you get in here. You get 0.11 fluid ounces of the Makeup Revolution Conceal and Define. So this contains more product, but keep in mind that the Makeup Revolution Conceal and Define is a little bit more inexpensive than this one. But this color seems promising. I really do like a bright under eye. Before I forget, this is the applicator. It's a doe foot applicator, just like the Makeup Revolution Conceal and Define foundation and concealer has. It also the Tarte Shape Tape. So I just put the concealer where I usually conceal, and I'm going to blend it out with my Japanese sponge. I don't know how fast this dries. So what I noticed about this concealer off the back is not a thick concealer, but it's not full coverage. I believe, or I feel like this is a medium coverage. You probably can build it up, which I'm going to do. I'm going to add a little bit more. My dark circles are. Or you can definitely build up the coverage So I also have their Eye Magic setting powder, and this is in white sand. This is the packaging. It's just like their loose highlighter packaging. So this is cruelty free, paraben free, and vegan. It doesn't say how much you get in here, but it's a really small amount. Usually use my Coty Airspun powder, which that's my holy grail. And you get way more than that for either just as much as this powder or less. So I just poured some into the cap, and this is what the shade looked like. I believe this is either the lightest shade or the second to lightest shade. So this concealer does crease if you don't set it right away. So I'm just gonna smooth it out with my sponge. And I'm gonna take some on my sponge. So I did set my face. I feel like the concealer does crease, but you have creases under your eyes, your concealer is gonna crease. Really concerned about that. I'm just more concerned about how it's set my face. I feel like maybe I put too much product on, that I feel like it's still moving a bit in places. For the price of like the powder and how much little we get, and if I have to use more depending on how much concealer I use or foundation I use, then I feel like we should have got a little bit more for our money. Be able to set the product correctly and to use it correctly and to keep it nice all day. So I did set the rest of my face. I'm going to move on to bronzer. Juvias Place does not have a bronzer that I can use, but I'm going to kind of make do. I'm going to go back into the Saharan Blush Vol.II palette, and I'm going to take this shade right here. This is called Yara, and I'm going to use that as my blush. It's kind of like a warm tone color, which I don't mind. So I'm going to grab this Ovani brush. So this brush is kind of tapered going up, and then it flares out into a dome. Bronzer brushes to be like that. You can compare it to either this Sonia Kashuk brush. I got this at Target. Or you can compare it to, I like using this brush, is dirty though, the Morphe 553 brush. So usually I always cream contour, which I didn't this time. So I'm just going to build up the bronzer. I'm going to take like a small domed contour brush. This is dirty because I've used it, so don't clock me. This is the Lexi 512 small contouring brush, and I'm going to take that same shade, Yara, and I'm going to contour my nose a bit. This might be warm, and I used too much, so good, bad. So it is definitely too warm for me to contour my nose, but we're just going to do it anyways. I'm just going to take a big fluffy brush. This is the Morphe E41 brush, and kind of diffuse it without messing up my lashes. So I'm going to take more of that white sand setting powder. I'm going to clean up my cheek. While that kind of like sits and bake, I'm going to put some color on my lower lash line. So I totally forgot that I bought this palette, but I bought the Zulu Palette. I'm going to take this teal shade right here, and I'm going to put that on my lower lash line. Then I'm going to dip into this yellow shade right here with another clean Morphe M506 brush. And I'm going to blend out that teal shade with this color. eyes completely finished, my face completely finished. Well, I don't have any highlighter on and blush. Scratch that. Let's put the blush on before I forget. Let's go in our handy dandy Saharan blush Vol.II palette, and I'm gonna mix this blush with this blush and maybe some of this blush. I'm just going to like mesh all of them together. And I'm going to take, this brush is dirty, but this is the Morphe 401 brush, and this is what I've been using for my blush brush. So I'm just going to dip into all three, and I pounce and swipe. Look how pigmented and beautiful that is. Alright, we have the face done now, and I'm going to spray my face with the Pixie by Petra Glow Mist, and this is the one with the propolis and argan oil. So I'm going to use two highlighters today, one that I used to use before they made highlighters and one of their loose highlighters. So the loose highlighter comes in the same packaging as the setting powder does, and this is the shade Cleo. It's like a white gold champagne color. And then the second one I'm going to use is in their mini Masquerade palette, and it's the shade right here, and this is the shade Giza. So I'm just going to take the loose highlighter first, and I'm going to take the Morphe 451 brush. It is so bomb, and it builds up amazing. These loose highlighters, I love to use them on my face. Sometimes I use them on my chest area, but this highlighter is so bomb. Right, before I start with the rest of my face, I'm going to go in that mini Masquerade palette in that eyeshadow shade Giza. And I'm just going to use the other side of the brush, and I'm going to put that on the other side of my face. The shade is like perfect for highlighting. They're both pretty similar. One is in a pressed eyeshadow form and the other one's a loose pigment. So I'm just going to highlight the rest of my face. And I'm going to highlight the inner corner of my eye with that eyeshadow shade Giza. Okay guys, this is the finished look, and what do you guys think? I think it's popping. I'm loving it. I especially love the eyeshadow on the lid. It is my favorite eyeshadow. The foundation is nice. It covers really, really well. It's kind of thick, but not too thick that it feels heavy. So I really like that. The under eye, the concealer is medium coverage. It's not full coverage. It does crease after a little bit, but if you have creases under your eyes are gonna crease. So eyeshadow under there all the time, so it's not like it shows. The highlighter is popping. The setting powder did set well. I just wish we had more. I wish we just had more for how much it cost. The blushes were popping. The eyeshadow is always pigmented. Juvias Place never fails. I wish I would have played with the Zulu Palette a little bit more. I kind of forgot about it until the very end, until I was doing my under eyes, because this eyeshadow would have been more colorful. Let me know your thoughts and comments about the videos, and if you use the Juvias Place foundation and concealer and setting powder already, let me know your thoughts about that. Let me know your thoughts about Juvias Place in general. I love to hear you guys' comments and requests. If you like this video, please give this video a thumbs up. Subscribe to my channel. Please press that button down below wherever it's at, either this side or that side. Please share this video to all of your friends and family. Everything I use will be down below in the description box, like always. Okay, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye! Because it's suitable for all skin types, including sensitive and oily skin. Excuse you, can I read this? I'm gonna take a smaller flat.